All right, the Raiders just got a double dose of good news. Hey, if you're new to this channel, my name is Craig. Me and my buddy Chris love making videos about teams in the NFL and mostly teams that are overlooked by the national media. Hey, we admit it. We are Lions fans. We love the Lions. We actually started our YouTube stuff with a Detroit Lions channel. It's called Sports Talk Detroit. But we decided, hey, let's talk more NFL football because we love the NFL. Yes, we love the Lions so much, but we also want to give you some non-biased opinions on your team. We've been doing this for a while, and there's some things that we can see, and we think the Raiders have some serious potential this year. So we've been doing a lot of videos. There's been really good response from the Raider Nation. So really thankful for all that you guys have been kind of looking at and supporting us in all that we do. So thank you so much for that. But in this one, I want to talk to you about two players. One is a rookie, and one is a guy that will be a second-year player. And both are getting good news kind of coming out of OTAs and what they have been doing. So first, and I've talked about this guy in the past, right? But I need to take a second again and remind everybody that Dante Thornton Jr. is a wide receiver that is on this team that was drafted, and I think a lot of people forget about him because he was drafted after Beck, and so it's just like, wait, what's he going to do? Well, there is a role that he could fill immediately, but there's a lot of talk about how he's going to be even better than that. So he is absolutely making noise at OTAs, but first I want to remind you of who this guy is. You know, if you watch this channel, that I love me a good RAS score, and he got a 9.8. In other words, he is the 69th, all right, most athletic wide receiver to ever test at the NFL Combine. His size is great. He's just a touch under 6'5". He's 205 pounds, so he has good weight to him, all right, and he ran a 4.3 40-yard dash. That is blazing fast. That is like in the Jamison Williams fast, the Tyreek Hill fast, not going to have the same quicks and stuff like that. That's the I'm almost talking Xavier Worthy fast type of stuff that he has going on here. But he's more than just fast, and that's what we want to talk about in this video. There are two players that went out, or two people that went and talked about him. The offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, and then the best current wide receiver on this team, Jakobi Meyers. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at what Chip Kelly had to say about him. He said, they're learning, and I think Dante is unique in terms of he's just a hair under 6'5", and he ran a 4.3. There's not a lot of humans on this planet that can do that. Don't you just love when coaches talk like that, by the way? Like, not a lot of humans on this planet. He didn't say there's not a lot of football players that can run like that. He said there's not a lot of humans that can run like that. I think that's absolutely hilarious, right? He said, and I think if you had to draw up an outside receiver, you would pick that type of body type. Someone that's got length. Someone that's got a huge catch radius, but also has speed. So, and then he went on to say sometimes you can get a big guy like that, but he can't really run, so they can stay with him. So you add that speed element to him, his ability to sink his hips, his ability to get in and out of cuts, all right? There is a real chance that he can become a star. Now, there was another article that was actually over on SI, and this is one where it talks about what his teammate Jakobi Meyers had to say about him, and they got a little excited in this one, saying, oh, he could easily pass Beck, who he was drafted after on the depth chart. He doesn't need to. What he needs to do right now is get past a couple of other people. That's it. He doesn't need to get by everyone. All right? He doesn't need to get by everyone. Right now you have a deep threat, but they're little. He's just a little guy. All right, and what you need is someone who can be big and fast. That is what a true person is. So here's what Jakobi Meyers had to say about him. He said, I like him a lot, actually. I didn't know much about him coming out, but now that he's here, just seeing the different parts of his game, like he's not just a guy that can run fast. He has some real receiver capabilities. I'm excited to help him grow and push him along and just see what he can do on the field when the pads come on. So now that I'm here doing the video, and this is more proof that we don't edit these things, we just film them straight through. I'm forgetting the name, and throw it down in the comments, of the wide receiver that was drafted by the New York Giants, and he played for the Tennessee Volunteers. And he came out and just had a really bad rookie year, and quite frankly, didn't do much of anything in his second year either. And, really bad rookie year. And I think that lack of production that he had as a wide receiver, and you look at the lack of production that some of the offensive players have had coming out of Tennessee. They run that very unique offense. It's a lot of fun to watch in the college game, but it's hard to understand what exactly does it translate to. That might have been a factor in pushing Dante Thornton down the list a little bit here, or down the draft board a little bit. And so it is very possible that the Raiders got someone that maybe should have been higher up, but they got him late. Also, Nico Iamaleava, right, and his whole demanding more NIL money, which is just insane at the college level. A college holdout for money. Are you kidding me? I don't even want to talk about that. He was terrible last year. He wasn't even good, like in comparison to what Hendon Hooker was the year before. And so, the numbers were down and all of those kind of things. So I really do think those are some of the things that you have to look at. Those are some of the things you have to look at. Heavy.com did another thing talking about how good Dante Thornton looked, that the rookies who showed flashes today were Ashton Jeanty and Dante Thornton. Like, the guy is everywhere right now. So I told you this was a double dose of good news. So I didn't expect it to take 7 minutes to get to this point. But Jackson Powers Johnson, your center, right? He made a list. It was predictions for 2025 most improved player by position. Now, pretty much all these are rookies, right? But at quarterback, you have Caleb. Jalen Wright at running back, Marvin Harrison Jr. at wide receiver, agree with all that. Theo Johnson, tight end. Olu Fashanu, agree with that. Peter Skoronski, I think it might actually be his third year at guard. And then Jackson Powers Johnson at center. Why is that? Coming out of college, everybody loved this guy, right? He was a PFF darling. He had good block ratings in the mid-80s. Everything he did, he was one of the best in college football, whether it was pass block, run block, zone, pass set. All these things were really, really good. And he played all snaps at center his senior year. Before that, he played other positions. He never gave up a sack, according to PFF in college. Never gave one up. Never gave up a sack. And then he came in last year, and he allowed 2. He got a 63.9 grade, which was the 56th amongst qualifying guards, okay? And so you have to believe that he is going to turn the corner and become an even better player this upcoming year, because that seemed like the one late-round draft pick that was a can't miss. It felt like a can't miss. All right. I was actually a round 2 pick. He dropped a little bit. And so, interestingly enough, it wasn't a remarkable rookie year, but I'm telling you right now, this next upcoming year, he's going to become one of the better interior linemen and one of the more consistent interior linemen in the game. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like this, you watched for 9 minutes, it must be decent enough. Hit that subscribe button for more Raiders content. If you just like other NFL content with some of those smaller market teams or teams that don't get enough love on TV, check it out. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.